I'm Merely Caruso. It's Tuesday, March 3rd. Today, a fatal accident on a tropical vacation.
I need my dad. I've lost my mom. I'm almost 47 and I'm not ready to lose my mom.
A Manitoba woman is killed in the Dominican Republic. What we know about the crash that claimed her life. Also today.
Who do you think you are?
Dollarama security guard update, the new charges that have just been laid. Plus,
we know that what has happened here at New Flyer can become something we can do at a larger scale.
Made in Canada, how New Flyer Industries is bringing bus making home from America. A Manitoba grandmother has been killed in a bus crash in the Dominican Republic. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. The fatal crash happened Sunday night, and authorities in that country say it involved a shuttle bus transporting tourists to a hotel. 2 people were killed in the crash and at least 19 others were injured. And today, we're learning at least some of the victims are from our province. Standing by live with all the details is CTV's Daniel Halmerson. So, Danny, what can you tell us about the victim?
The victim's daughter has identified her as 67-year-old Colleen Fullerton. She tells CTV News her 70-year-old father, John, who was also on the bus, was seriously injured in the crash and is now being treated in the ICU.
He's fighting in a hospital bed. We've had no contact. We don't know what's going on. We know he needs spinal plasty surgery if he's stable enough, and we've heard nothing.
The bus was carrying Sunwing Vacations guests to their hotels in the coastal town of Wandolio. The Dominican Republic's National Health Service says 8 of the injured were male, while 5 were female, all between the ages of 37 and 72. The crash happened on a stretch of road near the coast, about an hour's drive from Punta Cana. The family says they've been in touch with the Canadian consulate, but information is hard to come by.
My dad. I need my dad. I've lost my mom. I'm almost 47 and I'm not ready to lose my mom. I'm just not. I don't know what birthdays look like. I don't know what Christmas looks like. I don't know what any dinners look like. She made cookies for us before she left. They're in the freezer. Those are the last of her cookies. That's the last of her lasagna casserole. Like, there will be no more. There's no price tag.
It'll never be the same.
Brittany Fullerton, John and Colleen's granddaughter, is going to try to fly to the Dominican Republic to be with her grandfather. John was traveling with his son Greg, who is there with him right now.
Wow. Daniel, what is the federal government saying about all of this?
Merely, in a statement to CTV News, Global Affairs Canada said it is aware of the deaths of 2 Canadians. They say Canadian officials are providing consular assistance and are in contact with local authorities. Now, CTV's Danton Unger is working on this story. He'll have more details coming up at 6.
All right, looking forward to that. Thanks, Danny. An update now to a story we brought you last night. The security guard seen on video allegedly assaulting a man accused of shoplifting from a downtown store has been arrested, and a warning: you may find this video disturbing. Winnipeg police arrested the 23-year-old guard last night, 2 days after the incident at the Dollarama near Portage Avenue and Smith Street. He's charged with assault with a weapon, uttering threats, and unauthorized possession of a prohibited weapon. That's in connection to the brass knuckles he's accused of using. As we told you previously, the 46-year-old man he detained is also charged with robbery and uttering threats. Video of the encounter circulated widely online, which eventually prompted the Major Crimes Unit to investigate. None of the charges against either man have been tested in court. And a tragic update to another story we brought you yesterday. Police now say the body of an 81-year-old man has been found following a weekend house fire in the Lord Roberts neighborhood. That blaze broke out late Saturday night at a home on Nassau Street South. Police initially reported 1 person was unaccounted for. However, after crews searched the building, they were able to find the man who lived by himself. Police say crews had to rappel into the home from an aerial ladder in order to get him. The Major Crimes Unit is investigating, but right now that fire is not believed to be suspicious. Flooding at the downtown police headquarters last month did some serious damage. A city spokesperson tells CTV News a complete assessment is still ongoing, but damages will likely exceed $1 million. Parts of the police station were flooded on Valentine's Day after 2 people allegedly opened several emergency water supply valves in the stairwells of the adjoining building. Police previously said flood damage spanned from the 4th floor to the basement. 2 people are charged with mischief-related offenses in connection to the incident. The city spokesperson added the headquarters sustained more water damage Sunday due to equipment malfunction. This Sunday, we will lose an hour of sleep when we turn our clocks forward by an hour. But in BC, it will be the last time people there do it. BC is ending the practice of moving clocks backwards and forwards. That province now plans to stay on daylight saving going forward. The twice-yearly switch has long been loathed by many across Canada. But will Manitoba follow British Columbia's lead? Well, CTV's Jeff Keel is working on finding an answer out to that today. Hear what he heard next hour. Well, for the first time in 15 years, Winnipeg's New Flyer Industries is building transit buses from start to finish completely here in Canada. Today, New Flyer officially opened its all-Canadian build facility. The bus manufacturing facility is creating 250 direct jobs and is expected to result in hundreds of additional indirect jobs. In the past, just the shell of the bus was built here. Then it was sent to the U.S. to be finished. Now, New Flyer will completely design and build the transit buses right here in Winnipeg. Federal Industry Minister Melanie Joly says New Flyer is an example for the rest of the country.
We know that what has happened here at New Flyer can become something we can do at a larger scale. And there could be New Flyer in many sectors and also in many parts of the country. And so we know that in times of hardship, Canadians roll up their sleeves and we are able to build back and build back strong. And what has happened here is an example of building Canada strong.
New Flyer is now looking for new Canadian companies to supply as many of the elements that go into the bus as possible. At the moment, the company still sources them from the United States. The province spent $23 million to support New Flyer new facility, along with investments made by Ottawa and the company itself. A city strategy to provide people places to go is proving popular in some areas, but not so much in others. A report to the Community Services Committee shows nearly 48,500 people were served by a permanent washroom facility on Main Street in 2025. That's around 4,000 more than the year before. During that time, thousands accessed the toilets, peer support, and water. However, the 2 portable washrooms at Yonge Street and Cumberland Avenue experienced significant challenges, including vandalism, fires, theft, and improper disposal of sharps and other waste. It caused the city to drop the number of porta potties there from 6 to 2. All right, let's bring Colleen Brady now. Get a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. What are you tracking for us tonight, Colleen?
Well, a few different things here in the south. Potentially some fog overnight, maybe some freezing drizzle tomorrow morning. A lot of winds when they pick up tomorrow as well. Temperature still hanging on to around normal, maybe just a bit below it here in southern Manitoba. In the north, we still have cold warnings in effect. I'll show you when those are expected to finally get knocked down. But for now, the CTV Live Eye, that's brought to you by Bath, that are exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. In Winnipeg right now, it is -9 degrees. It's cloudy, but that sun trying to poke through. It feels like -14 when you factor in winds, light as they are, out of the west-northwest at 10 kilometers an hour. The pressure is dropping and the humidity is 76%. You see it's busy there on Portage Avenue. It's also quite busy looking out right now, this live look at Notre Dame, but no stalls or crashes at the moment to let you know about.
She fit right in the palm of my hand.
An animal companion, how a woman became the caregiver for this baby beaver. North American markets tanked today with investors worried about the Middle East war. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez explains.
Those concerns sent the TSX tumbling this morning. At one point, it was down about 1,400 points. Gold and silver stocks sold off, dragging the TSX down. But the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ were also in the red. Now, the TSX did recover later in the day. Oil continued to gain since the attacks on Iran have paralyzed the movement of oil in the Middle East. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar down a fraction to 73.15. West Texas Intermediate up over $3 to $74.56. Western Canadian Select up almost $5 to $57.72. And the TSX ended the day down 756 points. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Winnipeg police say its new e-ticketing initiative is already showing signs of success. According to a report from Police Chief Gene Bowers, the initiative has received overwhelmingly positive feedback from officers who are using it. The system sees officers enter Highway Traffic Act tickets into a secure digital platform called Smart Squad. It gives officers access to the police service's record systems while out in the field. More than 3,000 e-tickets have been issued between the end of November last year and February of this year. Currently, 34 members of the traffic unit are trained to issue e-tickets. A pair of unlikely friends is making a lot of friends online as they showcase their lives together. It started with a woman rescuing a baby beaver, sparking an incredible bond. Danny New explains.
On this World Wildlife Day,
Bo helps people see beavers as they've never seen them before.
we are meeting a pair of best friends who have been on an educational mission together.
Oh my gosh. He's waving. She's waving at me.
Over the past 2 years, Alexis and a beaver at her animal rehabilitation facility named Bo have been picking up millions of views online.
She fit right in the palm of my hand.
As she details their journey from rescuer and rescuee to being close enough to groom each other.
I'm just using my fingers like little beaver teeth. And that's just how she builds family bonds that have, she considers us to be a colony.
Alexis first took in Bo 2 years ago after a flash flood led to her being found abandoned near Alexis's home in upstate New York. Alexis says she and her team looked everywhere for her family.
It was a series of miracles that had to line up for her to survive.
She's healthy now, but Bo did eventually lose her eye to disease, and her immune system in general is just forever compromised. So, unlike the other beavers in Alexis's care,
Hey, Bobo.
Bo is just going to have to stay under her supervision.
I can't go in there with you.
However, she gets out plenty, and as you can see, actually communicated to Alexis that she wanted to swim together, so she had to get a wetsuit. In the summer, they now swim regularly in the pond together. Also, Bo even served as ring bearer at Alexis and her now husband's wedding.
She just waddled it on down the aisle. It was really honestly perfect.
Going on tour when Winnipeg's Begonia is set to perform in our city.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting the Irish Rovers.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and she's got some details about a Manitoba artist who's about to go on a Canada-wide tour.
Yeah, this is a big news. Begonia has been enjoying a lot of success recently, and now the Juno Award-nominated artist will perform across the country, including a show here in her hometown. Begonia is bringing her Fantasy Life tour to Burton Cummings Theatre on Friday, November 13th. The tour is named after her Juno-nominated album. Tickets for the show go on sale this Friday at 10 through Ticketmaster.
All right, now to something for the foodies and culinary curious.
That's right, but downtown Winnipeg Biz is hoping to lure them to the city's core for a new food festival kicking off next week. Between March 11th and 22nd, 31 downtown locales will be serving up limited-time menu items and features. Dishes run the gamut from breakfast and pizza flights to specialty sandwiches and sundaes. For a full rundown of what you can expect, you can head online to downtownwinnipegbiz.com.
An iconic Winnipeg band is expanding its tour to visit even more cities.
And I think you'll be able to guess who it is. I didn't write it, I just said it, folks. Yeah, I know. But guess who is touring across Canada this summer, including a performance here in Winnipeg? And now we're learning they'll be playing in the U.S. as well for the first time in more than 20 years. The band that wrote American Woman will tour America itself. Now, they've added 20 U.S. dates to their Canadian tour starting on June 25th in Minneapolis. That would not be in Canada. The Winnipeg concert at Canada Life Centre takes place on June 5th. Now, last year, Cummings and Bachman received the rights to the Guess Who trademark after settling a lawsuit with former members Jim Cale and Gary Peterson.
Justin Timberlake is going to court to try and block the release of police body camera footage of him.
It's footage from his drunken driving arrest in New York's Hamptons in 2024. The pop star's lawyers argued in a lawsuit filed yesterday the release of the video would devastate Timberlake's privacy and cause severe and irreparable harm to his reputation. A lawyer for Sag Harbor said a judge didn't immediately rule following a court hearing. Timberlake was arrested in June 2024 after Sag Harbor police said he ran a stop sign, veered out of his lane, and got out of his BMW smelling of alcohol. He ultimately pleaded guilty to a lesser charge.
I'm thinking he behaved pretty badly on that police body camera footage.
Yeah, kind of did.
All right. Thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome. Your primetime lineup starts at 7 with Will Trent. High Potential is at 8. RJ Decker follows at 9. And Best Medicine wraps things up at 10. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
CTV Primetime Lineup brought to you by the Parkway Retirement Community. Welcome home.
A live look at Portage Avenue east and westbound in front of Polo Park. You can see traffic volumes quite manageable there. Really nothing heading inbound at the moment. Right now in the city, it's a little cloudy, some sunshine trying to peek through. It's -9 degrees. I'll have your full forecast coming up.
Women's clothing provided by R.W. & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
The world's most viral monkey is leading to a surge in sales of a very specific item. By now, you've likely heard of Punch, that 6-month-old monkey who was abandoned by his mother at birth. Because of that, Punch became very attached to this plushy orangutan. Well, now that same plushie is flying off shelves as IKEA struggles to keep it in stock. The company even launched a marketing campaign with the slogan, "Sometimes family is who we find along the way." In Malaysia, it is donating a portion of the sales to orangutan conservation.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
How fast can we get to IKEA and get one, Colleen?
No kidding. Very clever marketing team at IKEA, yeah. I want one too.
I mean, right?
Let's go. Yeah.
I'm just glad Punch is doing well.
Yeah, first and foremost.
Temperatures pretty good again today.
Not too bad, and really this will continue. Gradually we'll get a little bit warmer and a little bit warmer throughout the week here in the south until we get to the weekend, and then temperatures jump up above freezing. So still set to have a really nice weekend, and yes, I know it's only Tuesday, but let's keep focused on this great forecast because it's been good here. It's been quite cold in the south, well, in the north. That's up there. That's the north. Here's the east. Here's northwestern Ontario, where actually temperatures have been even milder, close to the freezing mark. A little bit of light cloud there. There's northern Manitoba, lighting up in yellow. So many of those regions still tonight. Environment Canada continuing that yellow warning for cold for all those areas, including Brochet to Dooley Lake, Lynn Lake, Thompson, Gillam, Churchill, over into Shamattawa. The stagnant air mass that is sort of locked over the northern prairies isn't ready to budge just yet. Environment Canada figures by Thursday morning we'll see some movement. I'll show you why in just a moment. But until then, very persistent and very cold wind chill values, anywhere from -45 to 50, expected to be at their most extreme overnight and into the early morning hours. So that continues for now. Actual air temperatures in northwestern Ontario, Kenora -14, back here in Winnipeg. Handful of degrees colder, both Winnipeg and Brandon -9 right now. Dauphin -10 degrees, and then quite a drop off as we get into that colder air mass further north. -22 in Thompson. It's -25 in Churchill and in Gillam. But when you factor in the wind chill feels like -37 in Churchill, -28 in Island Lake is what it feels like here in the south. Wind chill values make it feel around -14 here in Winnipeg and in Brandon. So here's the setup. To put it, I guess, as simply as I can, we've got high pressure ridging out to the west. We've got low pressure troughing out to the eastern Arctic. And atmospherically set up between the two, we're going to have a few rounds of what you see here, these narrow bands of snow passing through Manitoba. Added to the mix, that stagnant air mass I was just talking about. It is not budging for the next several hours or so. As I mentioned, once we get to Thursday morning, the expectation is finally all of this is going to start to shake up and move around. But until then, tonight we've got a little bit of light snow, as you see here, or flurries passing through areas north of Winnipeg into northwestern Ontario. But there is also the possibility, you see here, where that purple turns to pink, we could see freezing drizzle overnight and into the morning tomorrow. We could see fog as well here in the south. Then we get into the day ahead, bright and sunny through central and northern parts of the province. Down here in the south, still a little on the cloudier side, but temperatures still right around normal for this time of year now that we're into early March. But this is the next advance that's going to bring a wider spread amount of precipitation across a much wider area, as you can see. As we get into Thursday, there is the possibility that we could see snow across much of the south, including here in Winnipeg, although the future cast has it basically arcing north of the city, but there is that potential also for freezing drizzle. Expectations at this point is that snowfall amounts won't be too significant. Tonight, though, cloudy with that possibility of fog developing overnight. We drop down to minus 12 degrees. Overnight, the winds pick up a bit out of the north at 15 kilometers an hour. Very strong north or northwest winds develop tomorrow. There's a risk of freezing drizzle in the morning. We could be dealing with fog for the commute, otherwise cloudy with a high of -8. So the normal high is -5, so a little bit below that. Up to -2 Thursday with that possibility of snow, and then we get back into more sunshine by Friday, and then a beautiful weekend ahead. Our first weather photo. This is pretty cool. Now, Stan says this is wind-carved snow drifts just north of Headingley. Now, I have to give Kat an A+ for effort. She was up early this morning when she should have been to try to capture that eclipse. Well, she caught the start of it, as you can see there, and then she said the clouds rolled in as we thought they might. Send us your weather photos to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Thanks, Kat. Yeah. I was sleeping and regretted missing it. I really appreciate that. Well, a new sweet treat has arrived at the Arizona Zoo.
She's true to her name. She does look like a little jelly bean, and Jelly Bean is so much fun to watch. She'll still get her little zoomies just like, you know, our dogs at home.
Oh. Baby pygmy hippo Jelly Bean was welcomed to the world. She got her name in a public contest. All of the possible names were candy themed to match her mother, who was Lollipop, and her father, who was Tootsie Roll.
Adorable.
All right, all the animals all day today. I love it. That does it for us this hour. Don't go farther. We're back at 6 with much more local news. Hope to see you then.